Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Kara McKinney. The 45th President of the United States stands a convicted felon at the hands of his rival political opponent. The very same political opponent who was VP when Hillary Clinton and the DNC first began setting this whole trap and running it through the Obama White House. Now, obviously, Biden would say he had nothing whatsoever to do with the prosecution brought by a local prosecutor. It's out of his jurisdiction, his purview, and his powers. Though, funny enough, his own campaign sent actor Robert De Niro to do a presser outside the New York City courtroom as if his appearance could sway the jury. And we all know about the visits between lawyers from Fulton County, Georgia, and the Biden White House. So today, Biden's right-hand man, the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, had the golden opportunity to set the record straight, finally, on exactly this. That no, despite the former number 3 at the Biden DOJ stepping down to work in a local prosecutor's office, the Biden administration could not and did not have anything whatsoever to do with Trump's criminal trial and conviction in Manhattan. And yet Garland failed miserably to make his own case in light of Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz' line of questioning. Watch.
Attorney General, you've told us that it's a dangerous conspiracy theory to allege that the Department of Justice is communicating with these state and local prosecutions against Trump. You can clear it all up for us right now. Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fani Willis' office and Letitia James's office?
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. The question is whether or not you will provide all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't need a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, we do not control those offices. They make their own decisions.
The question is whether you communicate with them, not whether you control them. Do you communicate with them, and will you provide those communications?
If you make a request, we'll refer it to our Office of Legislative Affairs.
But see, here's the thing. You come in here and you lodge this attack that it's a conspiracy theory, that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just give us the documents, give us the correspondence, and then if it's a conspiracy theory, that will be evident. But when you say, well, we'll take your request, and then we'll sort of work it through the DOJ's accommodation process, then you're actually advancing the very dangerous conspiracy theory that you're concerned about.
And when Garland isn't busy betting himself into pretzels on Capitol Hill to just hide the obvious, he's going to swanky D.C. parties where he just so happens to keep running into his boss's son. You know, the guy his department is supposed to be investigating. Last year, there were allegations that Garland limited the authority of the Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss in his investigation of Hunter, which initially ended with a sweetheart deal that got overturned by a judge. Now, Weiss is special counsel, and Hunter Biden's federal gun trial resumed today with opening statements. Joining us now to discuss is Michael McCoy, the director of the Center to Keep and Bear Arms at the Mountain States Legal Foundation. Michael, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So day 2 just wrapped. What are your takeaways from trial so far?
What I find interesting is just how strong the prosecution's case is. It is moving very quickly and very efficiently. They're presenting what I think is an abundance of evidence that Hunter Biden was, in fact, addicted to crack cocaine and various other narcotics at the time that he purchased that gun. There's evidence through text messages. There's evidence through video. There's evidence, quite frankly, the most damning evidence is his own mouth. He wrote a book, as you're aware, his memoir of his life, and then did an audiobook. And in the audiobook, he goes over in detail how he had a serious problem, a serious addiction to crack cocaine, and was addicted at the time that he was purchasing the firearm. And so what I find ironic is, especially in the position that I'm in, trying to fight for the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens, is that we have the son of the president, who in this situation is the head of an administration whose primary goal seems to be to make it difficult for law-abiding citizens to keep and bear arms, and yet is rushing to the defense of his son, who is facing charges on that very thing. The only difference between Hunter Biden, though, and the 99.9% of Americans who are trying to exercise their Second Amendment rights is that he was not a law-abiding citizen.